Right, thank you for taking time for watching this video that you're about to watch. Now, I'd love you all to subscribe to my channel. Let's get the subscribers up. But one of my favourite and most loyal subscribers is one of my daughters, who she's just made this for me. Look at that. What does it say?
Subscribe to Colin.
So what do you want the people to do?
To subscribe to my daddy.
Good afternoon, internet. So, Sunday, the 31st of December 2023. Not long of it left though. So here we are on the last day of the year, and well, it wouldn't have been right, and I wouldn't have felt right, if I hadn't come on and wished everybody a very happy new year. And I sincerely mean that, I really do. You know, it's been a funny old year for lots of different reasons around the world, and also with me, things that I've been involved in. Weather-wise, well, let's not go there, shall we not? I mean, I know for a fact that the UK, especially Scotland, Ireland, us, all the top of France, these last few weeks have been absolutely horrendous. I mean, we had this big storm here, you know, a few weeks ago. You ride round here now, no, I'll rephrase that. You drive round here in the car, because you wouldn't want to go out on the bike. And I mean, there's trees down everywhere, there's damage still everywhere, slowly getting sorted out. But so yeah, it's just storm after storm after storm. And you know, and I've said this so many times before, if you're a biker or any outdoor interests, forget it. My family here, you know, they've got all their indoor interests, you know, and they love it. It's great. But me, so yeah, the year has come to an end. And when I look back, there was a lot that this time last year I personally wanted to do for this year, you know. But the summer, just the weather in the summer was, I mean, it was bad. You know, I mean, we had a lot of rain in this part of France. The UK did as well. So there was trips that I wanted to do. I mean, I did actually get up to Normandy in September. Excuse me. And, you know, it was just as bad. It rained, but still. You've got to accept, if you're a motorcyclist or a biker or whatever you want to class yourself as, you know, the weather plays a big part in what we do. But still, never mind. So looking on to next year, well, let's look at it. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if the world settled down, eh? If all this, it just seems like there's so much hatred, and you know, you're scared to switch a news channel on these days because, you know, something about that war or this war, or some bloke stabbed this, or some, it's horrible, you know. So let's hope that next year, you know, the world pulls itself together, eh? For me, on a personal point of view, you know, I mean, I'd like to think that the weather, that we get some decent weather, and, you know, to get out there, get some camping trips in, or just trips, you know, nice rides and that sort of stuff. It's okay spinning around here, you know, and I mean, I'm lucky, I live on the coast. I'm surrounded by coast on the bit of France where I am, because it sticks out, so you've got all the coast around you. You know, and I never get bored of the same old ride, you know, but it is nice to do different things and go different places and see different things. So yeah, so I mean, starting the new year off tomorrow. Well, I'm not saying I'm going to start this tomorrow. Obviously work to do on the bikes, bits of work that I keep saying this, I fell behind. And I think you get into this sort of thing, you know, you look outside, oh, the weather's absolutely horrible, and then you sort of take it out on you know, your own stuff. You don't take it out, but you think, oh, what's the point, I can't be bothered, I'm not going to use it. So, you know, there's a little bit of work left to do on the Meteor. On the Himalayan, there's the new rear sprocket that I'm going to fit, and in time you know, probably the cam, you know. But first of all, I'm going to see what the sprocket does. I mean, if the sprocket gives me a nice smooth, you know, cruising ability, then fine. I'm not going to do the cam, or I won't rush to do the cam. But one thing that I am going to do, that I've and this is total neglect really on my behalf, is that in the corner across there, let's have a little walk. Let's turn the camera, because you know I don't do this enough really. Walk this way. There was a record called that, wasn't there? But don't worry, I'm not going to burst into song. Here we have the Transalp. Now, you know, I don't pay this bike anywhere near the attention that this bike is worthy of. I really don't. But having said that, I don't think that applies to just me, because I think the Honda Transalp has suffered that for several years now, by a lot of people. You know, I mean, my model, it's a 1993/94 model. It's got you know, and hang on, I don't think I've probably put you. That's it. You got to get the full on. Anyway, so yeah, so mine's got the carburetors fitted, which I quite like, and back to old school, isn't it? You know. I forgot the train where I was going. Right. So the Transalp first appeared. Honda launched it in 1986, and of course it you know, it was Transalp. It was to tour across the Alps. That's what the whole idea was, you know, and it was a sort of off-road, all-terrain bike. And you know, the thing is that in lots of parts of the world, the Transalp, it just didn't fit, you know, it because, you know, mid 80s to early 90s, the UK was in the grips of the superbike. You know, how fast can my bike go? Got to be fully fed, leather clad, get out there, you know, and strut the stuff. And, you know, and so the Transalp was classed, even when it came out, as an old man's bike. You know, it wasn't a, you know, it just didn't fit the bill, did it? You know, it just didn't do it. But it had all the build quality. In my opinion, Honda's best years were 80s, 90s. You know, now the Transalp was built in Japan at the you know, in the actual main Honda factory, from its launch in 86 right up until 2000. No, it wasn't, right up until 1995. And in 1995 the Transalp changed, and the 600 power plant was replaced with the 650, and then it moved its location, and I think some were made in Spain, and I'm not too sure where the rest were made, but certainly not Japan. And I don't know, Honda sort of, it sort of changed, you know. They sort of again tried to keep up with the times, and this can be a huge mistake if you've got a good bike that everybody loves. But still, you know, it became fuel injected, they slimlined it down a bit, and blah blah blah. Okay, but in countries like America, especially, the Americans just cut it dead. They didn't want to know. When the Transalp was out, they just didn't want to know. And I do believe that Honda actually stopped the sales in America of the Transalp. Hence the fact now that you try and get a Transalp in America, or, to be fair, I bet if you, in the UK or Ireland, if you went onto eBay or Auto Trader, is it, and you try and find a second-hand early model Transalp, you'll struggle. In fact, I'd be surprised if you actually found a decent one, you know. And they're becoming now, people are realising now that these Transalps, you know, are a good bike. They do everything, go everywhere, They're easy to maintain. They're cheap to run. They're a comfortable bike. They really are. I mean, if I get on my Himalayan or I get on the Transalp, it's like riding the same bike. You don't get on the Himalayan and think, oh yeah, this is luxurious, this is a brand new bike, and then get on the Transalp and think, oh, hang on a minute, this is a bit rough. Having said that, my Transalp, although it's 34 years old next year, tomorrow and that year, and so 34 years old, but I look after it. It's impeccable, it runs absolutely beautiful. So, but I sort of haven't bothered with it. For instance, it needs a clutch. It needs a new clutch. It's the original clutch, and it's not for the want of mileage, because that bike has only done 25,000 miles, I think it's done, and that is genuine mileage from new. So it's not because of the mileage, but it's because of the age. The materials break down, and so basically it needs a new clutch. It needs a new set of cush rubbers on it, and that's it. I mean, that's it. And a good. It could do with the carbs balancing up again, which I've got all the vacuum gauges. So New Year's resolution: the Transalp is going to have a bit of a facelift. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a new clutch in it. I'm going to put the cush rubbers in. I'm going to give damn good service. And next year, it's going to be ridden as much as the now. Okay, 3 motorcycles. 3 motorcycles in a very limited riding scale of my riding scale. Yes, I could be out there today if I wanted to get blown around soaking wet, but I don't. It doesn't interest me in the slightest manner of speaking. But one good thing that the Transalp does have, and does do, of course, because it's a 600 and it's a twin, cruising on it is just, it is a dream. It's a nice bike. And like I said, I've owned it. I bought the Transalp in 2008 from a guy local here, an English chap. He'd come over from the UK and he just left it. He just dumped it and covered it up with tarpaulin. It was a right mess. And I bought it off him, and I brought it back to its original glory. And it's been with me ever since. So I've owned it, for quite some time now. And so, although mechanically it's serviced, it's always serviced, and mechanically it's fine, apart from, like I say, the clutch and that. So, that's going to happen. The Transalp is going to be sorted out, and I'm going to use it more than it's been used for many a year, because I do believe when I bought the bike in 2008, the Transalp had on something like 22,000 miles. Now it's got 25, so you can see I haven't used it an awful lot. In actual fact, I actually bought the Transalp with the intention of doing a trip to Africa. That's what I bought it for, and I never got there. I never did it. So, I've got the bike. I've got the willingness. Not too sure the body could do it, but no, you never know, do you? It's always been a dream of mine to do Africa, and not. I don't mean all of Africa. I'd like to do the top end, Morocco, Tangier, around there. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? But that's certainly on the agenda. I think that's about it, really. I mean, it's been, for me, like I said on the Christmas one, it's been a great year. The channel's slowly coming up. I try my hardest to do things that I think people are going to want to watch and listen to. If you don't want to listen to me, there's that button. You can always switch me off and I'm gone. Talking of being switched off, I mean, come on, hackers, don't hackers get right up your nose. I use one of the social media chat things, to talk, basically to keep in touch with my family back in the UK, because it's free, and it's great, and you can do face to face. And I sort of got hacked. No, I mean, nothing, they didn't nick it, they just hacked that account. I don't know why. So I haven't used it now for a few days. I'm not going to use it for a bit. In fact, I might shut it down. I don't know. Which is nothing to do with this channel, of course. It makes no odds to this channel whatsoever. This is my personal account, but there you go. Such is life. Right. So I think that's about it. I think. Oh, let me show you just one thing. I put my little sticker on. Look at that. I don't know whether you can see that on the Meteor. See, hang on, let's get a bit closer. They good old BMC give you some stickers, so I'll put one on the airbox there, and one on the front screen there as well. Oh, and the wife made me the little drone on sticker across the top there. Yeah, so God bless her, because she does all these she does all the stickers, and she can basically make up anything that anybody wants. So, you know, should you require something, I'm your man. Well, no, not really, she's your woman. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Right, okay, enough going on. So, end of 2003, for everybody that's been with me, thank you so much. Again, like I said at Christmas, I really appreciate it. You know, I'm going to go all out this year to try and get this channel up, as I say. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas Eve. Whatever you're doing, you know, take care, look after yourselves. If you're driving, drive sensibly. If you're drinking, drink sensibly. Who am I to say, oh man, shut this man. Okay, I hope you have a fantastic New Year's Eve, and a happy New Year, and probably the first video out next year. I can't see us being outside unless this weather changes, which according to the forecast is now going to change. So it's probably going to be working on either the Meteor or the Himalayan. So there you go. So from me to you, Happy New Year. Bye for now.